guys a recap on last week. Obviously, Tuesday night was a lot of fun. I think the schedule, the way it's built right now, with having Tuesday matches against our travel partner and for us our big rival with Montana, it presents some challenges. And I was really, you guys have heard me say it a number of times, but the crowd here in Bozeman, the way they fill Schroyer and shake it, it's unbelievable. And we had another record crowd on Tuesday night as we took down the Grizz in 3, so it was a really good night for us on a number of aspects. Had a different lineup, and the lineup we put out there came out and played really well, and couldn't be more happy for them to have that experience of playing in front of a packed gym like that, and getting to sweep our rivals in 3. It was a pretty sweet experience. Moving on to Friday night, I think we ran into a bit of a buzzsaw on Friday night. I think UNC is a very good volleyball team. They're one of the top 3 in the conference right now, in my opinion. And they're hosting the tournament this year, and they're building themselves to a point where they've got a very good chance of competing for that tournament title. And so we really got shown a lot of things we need to work on, primarily serving and passing. I think they served the skin off the ball, and we struggled with that from the passing line. And then we weren't able to reciprocate. We're on our heels the whole time, so we're a little bit tentative from the serving line ourselves. But I think coming off Tuesday, playing Friday, we've had 2 good days of rest, having Saturday and Sunday to rest this week, which has been a unique thing for us to not have to get in the gym on a Saturday. And I'm excited to get back in the gym today, and the girls are. I know the girls are pumped to get after Southern Utah on Thursday at 7 o'clock. So.
Coach, did you guys end up getting an off day after the rest?
We took Wednesday off. We had them lift in the weight room just to keep their bodies moving, but just trying to manage the workloads right now. Health has been a little bit of an issue for us, which has dictated our lineup a little bit. So we're trying to manage those things as best we can. So Wednesday we took off.
You said that you guys had a lot of sore bodies, which kind of played a role in Friday's sweep match. But going from Tuesday to Friday, how did that kind of prevent you guys from even taking a set?
Yeah, I think we've got a number of young women who typically have started for us all season who aren't able to play right now. And they're looking on the up and up. We'll see how the injury report comes out today from our athletic training staff. I couldn't tell you right now what our lineup's going to be on Thursday, because it's going to be depending on what happens between now and Thursday. Now, how did that play into us? I think we lacked experience. I think we lacked some grit in some moments on Friday. I think whenever you come off the high of a sold-out crowd and a sweep of the Grizz, the next match is easily a trap match. And I think there was a number of distractions on Friday. Reviewing that over the weekend with myself and with my staff, and Cole Swindell being in the building at the same time as our match. I just think there's a number of things there that didn't help us be in the best state of preparation. And that's a challenge for me as a coach, to learn how to help our girls mature and grow into that. And I think it's also a challenge for a young team to have that maturity to deal with some distractions, whether it be coming down off a big win or the excitement of what's happening in the building elsewhere. So.
How challenging is it when you do have to kind of mix the lineup?
It's Paul, that's a great question. It's really challenged me as a coach. I've really appreciated Katie and Cole's perspective in terms of just trusting our athletes that they can do different jobs. I mean, I think that the biggest example is filling the second middle blocker position right now. We've been doing it by committee. You've had Haley Merkus step in there and play middle blocker. You've had Evie Wilson play middle blocker. You've had Serena Casperson spend some rotations in the middle. And they've all done it really well. But the challenge is for us is to develop an offensive system that caters to their strengths, and also gives us an opportunity to be effective offensively whilst also not giving up too much on defense. So it's been a challenge, I'll tell you that. A lot of fun though. So.
They got the sweep back in September, and then they got the sweep again here at home. I mean, do you think did you see kind of some of the same weaknesses away as you did here at home?
Different. Definitely different. I felt like when we played at UNC's place, a month or two ago now, we were a different team. I think, the approach we were taking mentally at that point, I don't think is as strong as the approach we're taking now. I think we had a better, I shouldn't say a better lineup, but a different lineup on the court against Northern Colorado at their place. More of a traditional lineup, so we were more in our traditional rotations. I think that team that we put out against UNC at their house is perhaps better built to handle the speed of their offense. When you have a really fast offense like Northern Colorado runs, and you have athletes playing out of position like we did, it really plays in their favor the second time round. And I think you see that in the difference in the scores. I know we played them a little bit tougher when we played at their place than we did here. Like I said, Northern Colorado is without a doubt in my mind one of the top 3 teams in the league right now. And for us to get to that point, we've got to face them, and we've got to see what they do well, and we've got to see how they manipulated us, and because we want to be a top 3 team. That's our goal, is we want to be competing for the conference title, and we're not quite there yet. Now, can we go out and upset them on any given night? Absolutely, I believe we can. We're going to have to play really well to get Northern Colorado in those moments, but that doesn't mean I don't believe we can beat them. So I think, though, to go back to your question, I think the difference on Friday night this time round was the speed of their offense really showed up, the lack of experience of some of our athletes playing out of position.
Given the fact that you guys, the lineup is a little bit different because of injuries, I mean, for what it's worth, do you think that the girls have adjusted well, or playing for not having the whole team ready to go?
Yeah, incredibly well. I mean, just unbelievably well. You think about when we played at Portland State. It was half an hour before the first serve, and we're drawing our lineups trying to figure out how we're going to run an offense because we had that late a scratch in terms of injuries. Someone got injured in warm-ups. You think about the way they responded against the Grizz when we're putting a different line up. We're putting a different lineup out against the Grizz in front of 1,500 people, and they're responding the way they did. I couldn't be more proud of our girls for the way they've responded to the adversity. I have talked about this in the press conference before, but the toughness in our program we define as controlling the controllables. And this is a group of young women, and particularly young women, some of them, who are really working hard to control what they can and figure out what do I need to do to get the job done. And so the pride I have in them right now and the challenging situations we're facing, I can't really put words to.